Welcome back to Fl'AwesomeBlossom. I am your host, Cassiopeia Fleur de la Coeur Flores, but please do call me Kiki. All right, willkommen to my wildflowers and bonjour to my best buds. Willkommen is German for welcome. Bonjour is Ojibwe for welcome. And maybe those are two words that you've just learned. It's fun to learn greetings in different languages. You never know who you're going to meet. All right, my beautiful bouquet of human beings. Today we are going to talk a little bit about the human body. It is definitely a hot topic around here these days, mostly because I'm having a hot flash and it's extra terrible because I'm wearing a wig. However, today we are not talking about menopause. No, not today, Satan. Not today. But we are going to be talking about one of my very favorite topics, which is, of course, the human body. And I'm going to impart some knowledge to you so that maybe you can start relying on that body a little bit more. Yeah, I want you to rely on your body. I want you to get a little bit better connected with your body. All right. What qualifies me to give out medical advice? Nothing. This is not medical advice. I am not giving out medical advice. What I do have is the equivalent of 3.5 years towards a medical degree. So I have all of the knowledge of a third year, almost fourth year med student, and I know the muscular system, the skeletal system, the circulatory system, the digestive system. I know all of the systems of the body. I know all of the muscles, all of the bones. I know pretty much all of the basics of the human body. Where my skill set is lacking is the diseases. So I know a lot of the diseases and I know what some of them do to the human body, but I don't have all the pharmacology and all of the pathology education that an actual doctor has. That's what they get in the last 1.5 years. And I didn't do that part. So that's because it wasn't required for my accreditation for my manual therapy profession. But what was required was that we were as knowledgeable as fourth year med students when it came to the systems of the body, their proper function, and the proper function of the muscular, skeletal, and neurological systems of the body. All right? So that's what you're getting. You're getting that kind of knowledge. Any of this can be checked simply by checking an accredited source. So I'm not asking you to Dr. Google anything, but if you had an anatomy reference book, you could refer to that and you'll see what I'm saying is accurate. All right, moving on. Today, we're going to talk about, first, I just want to let you know who you're dealing with. All right, who am I? Well, I'm a person that has always been very curious about the human body. And one of my earliest memories is from when I was 4 years old. And I have a specific recollection of this memory because there's some shame around it. So shame sticks. That's for sure. But also because of the level of curiosity that brought me to the event. So I'm going to set this up for you. All right. I am 4 at this time. And I know I'm 4 because I had very, very, very long hair. It was long past my bum. And I needed to navigate my long hair during my experiment that I ran with my own human body. What? Wait for it. Just wait for it. Okay. But you just need to know I had super long hair. All right, we were living in a northern community, and we were living in a city, and in a very skinny house. And it was a day that I'm the youngest in my family by a couple of years, and my older siblings went off with the older kids in the neighborhood, and they were playing without me. And this happened a lot. I'm not gonna lie. the age gap at that time, I was 4, right? I mean, they're a couple of years older. It's a huge age gap between 4 and 6 and 4 and 8, 9, 10. Like those were the makeups of our street. Like I was definitely the youngest, and I had 2 older siblings. So my siblings were off playing with the older neighborhood kids. Like we were the youngest family there. So even they were like on the cusp of not being invited because that's the age gap, right? They were just at the acceptable level, but a 4-year-old, nope. So I'm at home. My mom is at home, and I'm upstairs playing dress up. I remember this specifically. I am dressing I'm in a dress, and I'm twirling around upstairs. Now I'm not in my bedroom. I'm in this weird little space that is between everyone's bedrooms and the bathroom. And we had this little back wall, and on that wall was this huge mirror that you could see your whole body in, right? Even the adults, even my parents could come and check their outfits out from head to toe in this mirror. So there's this huge mirror on this wall. And I'm in front of this mirror. I'm like twirling with my teddy bear. And my dress is all flouncy. I'm having a great time. And then I stop twirling because I got this weird sensation in my belly. And I'm like, oh, what's this? I don't feel good. And I feel this sensation in my stomach. And I pull my dress up to have a little look because I can feel like it just is weird. And it's a little bit painful. And I gotta tell you, I'm a child of the 70s. Right? But I'm only 4 years old. So like Alien, the movie has not been made yet. But I think in my memory, I'm thinking that there's something going to be poking out of my belly. Like that's how uncomfortable I am in this sensation in my belly. And then I fart. And I'm like, what? And immediately my belly's like, 50% better. And I'm like, oh, huh. Weird. And then my belly hurts again. And now I'm 4 at this point. I'm potty trained for sure. I've been going poop by myself, and I know the drill. I know that I go poop in the toilet. I know that poop is dirty, and it's my body's waste. It's the garbage in my body coming out, and I'm not supposed to touch that. I have a parent that works in healthcare, and they were really clear. Don't touch that. That's gross. So I'm 4, and I already know this. But I'm positive I asked my parent, how does my bum work? And, I'm 4. This is the language of a 4-year-old. How does my bum work? And my parent, what are they going to do? They're just going to give me the 4-year-old answer, right? They're going to give me an answer that's appropriate for a 4-year-old, which is, well, your bum processes the garbage and it poops it out. But my parent is not going to run some sort of Khan Academy breakdown of the digestive system and the lower colon and how the anal sphincter works and how the coccyx, which is the end part of your tailbone, the very, very end segments of your tailbone, actually cover a little bit of your anus, and that a muscle pulls that coccyx a little bit out of the way so that your anus can open fully and let your poop come out. She's not going to say that to a 4-year-old. But I'm going to say that to you. Put that in your back pocket. Yeah, that's right. You got muscles that move a little tiny bone out of the way so you can poop better. There you go. You're welcome. Also, you need to know it. You need to know the name of the muscle. Do you want to know it? Yeah, you do. Pudendal. You're welcome. Look it up. Okay. Here we go. Back to this experiment. So, I've already asked, how does my bum work? And I got this answer, which didn't really tell me how does my bum poop it out. But I'm 4. I don't have the language to really ask the specific question I'm trying to ask. And so what I decide to do in this moment, I can tell now, right? My belly's really rumbling. I can feel a sensation here. I can also feel a sensation on my anus. And my 4-year-old brain has now decided I'm going to find out how my bum works. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to be the observer because that's how I know how to learn things. I watch and learn, right? I'm positive that was something that was said a lot in my house. Watch and learn. How do we tie our shoes? Watch and learn. Like, how do we do this? Watch and learn. So I'm going to watch and I'm going to learn. I'm going to watch my own body and I'm going to learn how it works. But I know I already know at the age of 4, I know that poo is dirty and I know it's awful and I'm not supposed to touch it. And I absolutely know I'm not supposed to be pooping, in my pants or on the carpet, right? So I march my little butt into the bathroom and I take a dirty towel out of the hamper and I bring it in front of the mirror and I lay it down. And I'm like, okay, I'm in for this experiment. Now, I'm trying to have a little look. I'm looking at my belly because it's really, oh man, again, my belly's just like, ooh, not comfortable. I can feel this pressure on my bum, like on my anus. I know this is about to happen. So I turn around, right? First I whip off my dress so I can have a little look. And I'm just like observing the superficialness of my body, right? I'm looking at the front, looking at my belly. I turn around and I'm just looking at my back, looking at my bum. But I know that's not really helping. That's not really letting me see. I know that poop is coming from in between my butt cheeks. So I've got my back to the mirror and I pull apart my butt cheeks. I got my neck crammed behind me so I can have a little look. I'm trying to look in the mirror. I'm 4, but I'm bendy. So I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to have a little look. And I can feel this, like it's becoming an urgent issue at this moment, right? I know I'm going to have to poop. And my body, I'm standing up straight. Not really straight because I'm cranked. I'm turned to one side. I've got my neck cranked around. I'm like all twisted. But I don't have my pelvis in a good angle for pooping. And my knees are locked. And my whole body is trying to tell me, hello, Kiki, we need to poop. Get into poop position. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm not going to be able to see if I do it this way. So I turn around. I squat, and now I've got my hair's all in the way. It's actually pooling underneath my bum and on the carpet. And I'm like, oh no, if I'm not careful, I'm going to poop on my hair. So I've got to move my hair out of the way, and I've got it now tucked up underneath my armpit. And I am facing the mirror. I've got my pelvis turned, and I'm having a look, and I'm actually watching as my body is doing this process. I watch the poop come out. I watch that sphincter open and allow it. And I watch it close. And then I was like, wow. And then the show was over, right? And I didn't think ahead of time. I didn't think to bring the paper towel or the toilet paper rather to clean up. So I'm like, and I stand up and I turn and I'm like looking around and I look down. And now I've got this stinky turd on this towel and I got to clean it up. So I'm like, okay, I'll clean it up. But I was a little disappointed in how the experiment went. I think I was expecting something different, hoping for something different. I don't know. I'm not really sure what I was hoping for there. It wasn't going to be some sort of ticker tape parade or anything for my poop to come out, but I'm not sure. I was just observing. I'm like, oh, okay, well, like no big deal, got to clean up. And I bend down to pick up the towel with this fresh stinking turd in it. And as I pick up this towel and I turn to go towards the washroom to get rid of this, to destroy all the evidence that I pooped outside of the bathroom, one of my siblings takes the last 2 steps to come up the stairs. And now they are looking at me. And I'm standing starker naked. P.S. My hair is still tucked up underneath my armpit. And I've got this towel in front of me. And I'm like holding my face to the side because it really does stink. But I'm extending my arms. So essentially my sibling has come up the stairs, taken 2 steps, and is being presented with this towel and this turd. And what do you think my sibling does? This one, at this point, is double my age. What do you think this 8-year-old did? Well, they did what any 8-year-old would do. They freaked right the fuck out, didn't they? There's their baby sister presenting them with this towel turd. And so, oh my gosh, my sibling's like, I'm going to go tell mom. And I'm like, no, don't tell mom. And I run into the bathroom and I plop the turd into the toilet. But now, oh my gosh, I've got this dilemma. I haven't cleaned up. I haven't cleaned myself up. I'm so concerned, like, oh no, my sibling's going downstairs to rat me out about what I just did. So my mom comes upstairs And I'm in the bathroom. I'm cleaning myself up. I'm trying to do a really, really good job so that she doesn't have to do anything. You know, it's becoming a point of pride now to have a clean bum, like to do it properly, to be a big girl, right? And I just did a big girl experiment, so I better clean up appropriately. And my mom comes in and she can see that there's turd in the toilet, and she's like, "Oh yeah, your sibling said that maybe you went to the bathroom outside of the toilet. Said something about a towel." And then I confess. I just confess everything, and I just said I wanted to know how my bum worked, and I wanted to have a little look, and I told her everything I did, and I, told her I cleaned up. She inspected. She's like, "Well, you did a good job," and she's like, "What did you learn?" And I was like, "I don't know. Poop comes out of there." Like, what? I don't know what I learned. I couldn't explain it to her, but I did learn that I couldn't poop standing up. I did learn that I needed to get into a better position. My body told me that. And although I wasn't consciously super aware of that, I'm pretty sure that just reinforced my connection with my body. Like, just doing that little experiment. And I was 4, and that's maybe some weird stuff that 4-year-olds do. I hope I'm not the only one that kind of had a little look and wanted to find out. I'm sure boys look all the time to see pee come out of their penis. I looked to see urine coming out of my urethra. I had to have a look. I had to find out, what is this? What does this do? And we're born curious about our bodies. Have you ever seen an infant? Have you seen the 0 to 6 months old kids, like the little babies? They are like absolutely fascinated by their own hands, because they're curious about their bodies, and they are developing an understanding as they're watching their hand and they're moving their fingers and they're putting it in their mouths. They are developing understandings of how their bodies work. And I don't think we encourage this enough. And I think, in fact, what we do is, by the time we are sending our children out to school, we are then actively telling them to ignore their bodies. We're no longer telling them to be curious about their bodies. Now we're telling them to ignore their body. Sit still. That's ignoring your body. If your body's like twitching like mine used to, like, oh my gosh. I used to be made fun of a lot for my legs shaking. Well, what would have happened if I was allowed to do some exercise? What would have happened if I was allowed to get up in the class and walk around and work some problems out? One of the best semesters I ever had in my scholastic year was when I was going to the gym every single day after my lectures on anatomy and physiology, and I was working out while I was studying, and it was amazing. Like, that's the kind of neural connection that I needed, I guess. That, and also Khan Academy, yay! Visual learners, if you stumble across that, it could be a game changer if you stumble across the Khan Academy and you're a visual learner. So I highly recommend that. All right. That's going to wrap it up for us today. I hope you learned a thing or two about a thing or two. You probably learned a few things about me that surprised you. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, I'm going to talk a little bit about the body, and we're going to get into some gross stuff. But we're going to love on the human body, because it really is a fascinating machine, and we are an electric being. And next time we're going to talk about something that I used to really enjoy watching when I was a kid. We're going to talk about the Care Bears. I'm going to just put that in your little noggin right now. You percolate on the Care Bears. If you don't know what a Care Bear is, Google it. And we're going to talk about it. And we're going to talk about human body and Care Bears. All right. This is it for Kiki for today. Thank you so much for joining us here at Fl'awesomeBlossom. Until next time, I hope that you are out there living your life in full Fl'awesome. I'll see you next time.